Hey everyone in YouTube land. I just saw a review of a book from one of my subscriptions, and I forget his name. He's really charismatic and everything like that. I loved it. It made me want to read the book, and since I'm such a bookworm, um, I decided that I am going to tell you about one of my all-time greatest love books of all time. This book has been a cherished thing for me. It's Susan Kay's Phantom of. It's just Phantom. I'm sorry. It's It was It was made in '93, and the great thing about this book was, check this out. It actually has pictures on the front of the book. Front of the book pictures. I loved it. I thought it was just so. Oh, this doesn't even sound like me. This sounds like one of those boring people that have books in one review, and you know what? I'm just gonna go full gallop on this one, folks. When I was a kid, I saw this in '92. '92 was when it came out. '93. It was a thrift drug, and the great thing about it was it chronicles the Phantom of the Opera, Eric's whole life, from his birth to his death and beyond. And it's a great book. It is. It's so great. I'm not a big, I'm a huge bookworm. I love books. Oh my god, I love books. Anyway, when I saw this at Thrift Drug, I read a few passages to it, and I was obsessed with it ever since I read. I mean, I can't even remember the passages I read from this book when I first saw it. I was like, oh, and this was when the book first came out, and I was just like fascinated with this book. But yeah, it was like it just drove me out of my mind. Um, but yeah, it's dark, it's haunting, it's poignant, it's everything that you want in Phantom of the Opera. Um, there are a few things that a few purists of the Phantom of the Opera story will not like. I'm not saying he kills any animals or children or anything like that, but he he does take he's a drug addict, okay, and to me that makes him all the more human. Instead of Gaston Leroux's never got into the apple of Eric, and that kind of bothered me. I mean, I love Gaston Leroux's book, but I guess I'm always looking for the bigger, better deal. And when I read this book, I was just like in shock. I was like, oh my god! Yeah, I know, I look like I'm on speed right now, but really, I'm not. I swear to God to you, I am not on speed. And, the great thing about this book is just so great. The whole book is just so amazing to me. You just don't understand the concept of this book. If you are a huge Phantom of the Opera fan, like I am, and you kind of like the angst, kind of like the overt sensuality, um, and want your air to be a little bit more, what's the right word, tortured, the tortured genius of Phantom, yeah, I just loved it because it was just so different, and I was such a fan. I'm such a fan of the story itself. I hate the movie. I do. I absolutely hate Angela Weber's vision of the movie. Just wipe it out for I don't care. Um, but I heard that he has the rights to this now, and yeah, it's kind of bothering me because it's like that angst will be like almost like in the musical it almost became overly romantic, overly sensual, overly, and I can understand that because it's a musical, but leave my fan alone. Um, yeah, it's just a fantastic book. It just tickles me. It's like, I mean, from when I was a kid, this is what I wake up at first in the morning, and then I would read the whole book in one day, in a few hours time, and it's like 523 pages minus the author's words. I mean, it's 529 pages of story. Then they had the author's, word, and I mean, I read the whole stinking thing, even the author's word. I was just like fascinated with this woman, and I was just crazy about it. And then all of a sudden, my book fell apart. Yeah, it fell apart because I read it too often. And, the spine cracked and pages fell out, and I was like, I'm never gonna read it again. But, then I found it. Oh, shoot. I hate these stupid things. Anyway, I found it, and, again, and then I found out that it was no longer going to be printed. It was going to be out of print. That would not have to do with me. I was upset. I was like, oh my god, what am I going to do? I better stock up on these books. Because if I don't stock up on the book, I've had like, how many books did I have? The same book. The same book. I had like 10 copies of it because I was so worried that, if I read it enough, and, I just wanted, oh my god, I just wanted, oh my god, so great. Yeah, I mean, I had 10 copies of these books. That's not human. That's not normal. But like I said, it's just a fabulous story. And look at these pictures. They're so, I mean, look at these. These are great. You don't find that anymore in books. Especially adult books. Oh, here's my other main competitor. Try not to snore this time, honey. And then we were looking for the hardback copies of it, and we got one on eBay. This was a while back. Hardback copy. I love this book. Yeah, but if you're a huge fan of the opera fan, you must read this book. Go to your local library, go to anything else in this world, just go for it. It's a great book. I just love this book. His mom is a bitch. Then he goes to a freak show, and I don't want to say anything else, but you'll be like, yeah, it's so full of angst, and so full of torture, and so full of love, and blah 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 blah, and My favorite